The SoundPeats Air 5 Pro. When a value-driven headphone company sets their sights on a premium user experience, you get something like the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro. This is SoundPeats' attempt at trying to give users an AirPods-like Pro or kind of just premium headphone experience. And these headphones, in my opinion, kind of make it to S tier, but kind of make it to A tier. And if you guys want more information about how I rank headphones, I will have links to where you guys can do all that. The SoundPeats Air 5 Pro are a great sounding pair of active noise canceling headphones that come in at like half or 1/3 of the price of their target, which seems like it's the AirPods Pro, but these aren't exactly what I would call groundbreaking. So in today's review of the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, we're gonna be covering the features and specs, the design and build, the microphone performance, the latency performance, give you guys a tour of SoundPeats' brand new app, which is pretty nice, along with their performance for sound quality, ANC, and the overall user experience. But first, I would like to personally thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my content. My name is Mitchell, and on this channel, I like to make videos about cool mobile tech. And I think these headphones are pretty cool, and they're definitely mobile, and they definitely do rank pretty high among the 150 so pairs of headphones that I've reviewed up to this point in time. Now, starting off with the features and specs of the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, these things are loaded to the gills. Not only do we have LDAC, we have aptX lossless, aptX adaptive, LC3, which I have no idea what it is. I just know it's an exotic audio codec, AAC, and SBC. Those make these things high-res audio certified, and it's really cool to have like 2 or 3 different flavors of a high-res audio codec. We have an AI-powered adaptive ANC, and it seems like everything is AI-powered these days, but with 6 mics and their CVC 8.0 capture, it feels like the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro definitely are kind of a little different than other generations of SoundPeats products I've tried in the past. They have Bluetooth 5.4, which isn't the newest spec, but it is one of the more up-to-date specs. We have multi-point connectivity, Bluetooth LE audio, 55 decibels of ANC, and I would say that the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro are the first time that I can say that a pair of active noise canceling headphones from SoundPeats just like really impressed me. They have a 10mm composite driver, which is a bit on the small side, and they're IPX5 water and dust resistant. Now, talking about battery life, you're going to get 7.5 hours of non-LDAC codec playback. I'm not exactly sure of what the playback is for ANC and like aptX lossless or aptX adaptive, simply because those codecs aren't available on my S24 Ultra. And from my experience using them with aptX and ANC or like adaptive ANC, I was getting, after about an hour and a half workout, these were dropping down to like 80% or so. So I think you're probably looking in the neighborhood of 4.5 to 5 hours of total playback time with these and ANC and something like aptX, which is odd. The case is going to give you up to an extra 30 hours of playback. Again, that's depending on the codec that you use. Now, the case features a matte plastic on both the front and the back. I have the white model and it doesn't really show fingerprints, but I could definitely see how this type of plastic that is a bit more glossy might show fingerprints if you had the black. Now, talking about the headphones on the outside kind of have this glossy silver finish, very reminiscent of other SoundPeats headphones. They have a short stem design with a directional mic at the bottom of the stem. The ear tube, ear canal, ear nozzle, that's the word I'm looking for, features a metal grill over it, which I really like over a SoundPeats prior grills that were like smaller and whatnot. You have cutouts in these headphones for some, I guess, pressure relief, but you don't have any in ear detection, and I'll talk about that in a second. The case does have a smart lid, so when you open it, it begins pairing. You have the USB-C charging port on the bottom, and you have a repair button. And if these things are totally dead, 10 minutes on charge should get you 2 hours of playback time with their quick charge feature. And I would say if you want to get these up to 80-85% with the case and whatnot, you're probably looking at about 45 minutes to an hour on the charger. Overall, even though this case is a bit squeaky, I don't have much in the way of criticism for it. It's nice, it's relatively compact. The lid stays open even if I try to flop it quite a bit, and overall they feel pretty nicely made, although they don't feel premium. Talking about the design and the mic placement, with the 6 mics, it looks like you have one mic on the bottom, probably one mic in the actual ear itself, and then another mic in the kind of side portion of your ear. To kind of go ahead and figure out how much exterior noise is coming in. But talking about microphones, let's go ahead and give you guys a mic test of these right now.
Now you're hearing me on the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro with some simulated background noise. Now you're hearing me on the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro with some simulated background noise. Let me know how I sound.
So one of the features that you can toggle on and off for the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro is a low latency gaming mode. So let's go ahead and show you guys what toggling the low latency mode of the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro does.
And that was after I restarted the Find Hub and specifically went to the Moto tag. In fact, even getting it to work, I have still now lost 3 different Android device trackers. And if you want to hear the story about losing 3 Android device trackers.
Now, talking about toggling that gaming mode, I think it's time for us to talk a little bit about the app. SoundPeats does have a new overhauled, very responsive app that works really, really well with these. You'll be able to have a ton of different tweaks in regards to EQ, hearing test, along with kind of the ability to toggle LDAC on and off, other people's pre-made EQs, etc. And overall, the SoundPeats app is really, really responsive. It's got a ton of cool features in it, helping you find your headphones and stuff like that. And overall, I think that the app has come a long way, and it's definitely necessary because you might need to update the firmware of these headphones when you get them. Now, next up, I want to talk about ANC because that is something that is toggleable or tunable in the app, and the ANC on these really surprised me because of how well it did in regards to covering up kind of some of those higher pitch sounds like people talking or motorcycles on the street. I found that the overall ANC quality of these to be on another level compared to what we had from prior generation of SoundPeats headphones. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that SoundPeats is using a Qualcomm enabled Snapdragon sound enabled chip, which I have to double check, but I believe these are Snapdragon sound. Yeah, they are, because they have all those different LDAC ones. Sorry guys, I have a ton of different headphones that I've been reviewing, and so I can sometimes get that stuff a little bit confused. Now, talking about toggling different things for the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, we have to talk a little bit about the ANC, because this is one of the first times I've really been surprised by the overall ANC performance on a pair of SoundPeats headphones. In general, they were always good at kind of canceling out some of the low end, but for some reason, these new SoundPeats Air 5 Pro do a much better job of canceling out kind of some of the mids and highs, people talking, cars on the street, and that's without sacrificing sound quality. I found sound quality on these to be very fun, probably more like the Harman tuning, where the bass is kind of brought up, the mids aren't really touched that much, and the highs have a little bit of extra sparkle. They don't do the greatest job in giving me like the largest or widest soundstage, which you're probably not going to get with a pair of ANC headphones, but I do find that the soundstage is wide enough and is broad enough to go ahead and replicate music in a variety of different genres. Totally fine. They're very fun headphones to listen to, and being able to tune them for your particular hearing in my opinion, is a great added benefit. And that's part of the reason why these things make it up to S tier. The only feature, in my opinion, that these things are really lacking is in-ear detection, which SoundPeats sometimes includes, sometimes doesn't include on their headphones, but I really wish these had in-ear detection along with wireless charging, but that's for headphones like the Earfun Air 4 Pro. And if you guys want to see a head-to-head comparison between the Earfun Air 4 Pro and the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, let me know in the comment section. And until next time, it's been Mitchell. Peace. Where the bass is kind of brought up, the mids aren't really touched that much, and the highs have a little bit of extra sparkle. They don't do the greatest job in giving me like the largest or widest soundstage, which you're probably not going to get with a pair of ANC headphones, but I do find that the soundstage is wide enough and is broad enough to go ahead and replicate music in a variety of different genres. Totally fine. They're very fun headphones to listen to, and being able to tune them for your particular hearing, in my opinion, is a great added benefit. If you guys want to see a head-to-head comparison between the Earfun Air 4 Pro and the SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, let me know in the comment section. When a value-driven headphone company sets their sights on delivering a premium user experience in an unconventional package, you get the SoundPeats. When a value-driven company sets their sights on a SoundPeats Air 5 Pro, when